Hey, how's it going? This is Kyle here at the Urban Market, part of the Urban Cellar, with Kyle's Corner, talking to you today about wine and cheese. I love to talk about wine. I love to talk about cheese. I love to talk about all the things that involve culinary world stuff. So let's do it. Okay, so today we're talking about wine and cheese, specifically wine and cheese together, because it's one of the biggest and best things to pair. Folks often talk about having wine and cheese. We joke about it all the time. Why don't you whine about it, man? Would you like some cheese with that wine? Why do we do it? Why do we pair cheese and wine? Well, today I'm going to tell you why. So, for the first thing, we're going to talk about what makes the wine and cheese combo the perfect combo. First off, you have to start off with what wine is. Wine is an astringent. It's something that's got an acidic property. It's something that actually cuts through or dissolves fats. What is cheese? It's almost entirely fat. We take the fat content from milk. We separate it from the whey, the liquid content of the milk, the cream. And then we take those solids and we condense them down, pack them, add salt, sometimes add flavoring, and then we age. Depending on what type of cheese you're making, if it's something like traditional cheddar, you're going to go for a medium moisture content. If it's something like a low moisture mozzarella, you're using a low fat milk to begin with, and you're eliminating all of that moisture, condensing way, way, way down.
Way down.
Till you get a crystalline structure, something that's almost salt itself. It's got a very dry pack, and it's something that doesn't have a lot of residual fat content either. So it's one of those cheeses that takes it to the extreme. Now, when we take those cheeses and we pair them with wine, what we're looking to do is complement the two things. So acid cuts through fat. Fat also helps supplement the moisture in your mouth when you're drinking wine with lots of acid. So you drink a big Chianti, let's say, from Italy, then you're going to have a lot of tannin. Tannin is a compound that's found in the skins of the grapes. Now, the alcohol content combined with that tannic compound, that drying element, which is also found in wood, which we age most of our red wines in wood barrels. So you're getting a triple attack on the moisture content of your mouth. So the saliva content of your mouth acts as a kind of lubricant, a barrier to keep out terrible things like bacteria, but it also aids in digestion. So as we drink these beautiful red wines, it's washing away a lot of that protective coating. So when we introduce a cheese with fat content, we're reapplying the fat, that lubricating layer to our mouths. Now, flip that around. Just eating a high fat content cheese. How many of you have had this happen where you're eating like a cream cheese or eating something, maybe you got too much on your bagel, and then all of a sudden you're left with this weird, gross feeling. And you're like, it's just too much of a good thing. Well, this is where we introduce a wine. This is a palate cleanser. We're breaking through those fats. We're breaking through that thick, gooey, blah, and we're bringing in a fresh new flavor. So therein lies the beautiful crossing point of wine and cheese. Fat, acid, alcohol, ooey gooey. Dissolve it. Get rid of it or balance it out. That's our goal when we pair wine and cheese. It's the yin and the yang. It's a wonderful deal. So often we see this with foods that we tend to think of. Italian foods, of course. They go hand in hand with Italian food because so much of their cuisine is based off of wine. Often marinaras, red sauces will have a red wine base to them. So when we do it with other cuisines, let's look at like Asian cuisine is a great example. Something we rarely think of, but sushi. If we're getting into a beautiful cut of meat, typically a lot of fish that we eat have high fat content. So introducing something like a racy Sauvignon Blanc or maybe a more sugary Riesling, but still having a high acid content, breaks through that fat and introduces a light, brisk, crisp flavor that's going to reinvigorate our mouth. So it's another cool thing to think about when you're trying to evaluate other cuisines. How do I pair that with wine? Well, think about the flavor. Think about things that are normally in the cuisines of that region where that flavor comes from, and then pair a wine that has flavors like that in it. Simple, right? So, what I want to talk to you also this month about what's going on in the market, our cheese of the month. We've been doing such a great job during the pandemic shutdown of bringing in new cheese because honestly, with us being closed for a while, there wasn't much of a point to it. But we're starting it back up again. I'm doing a cheese of the month every month. We're trying to find all those really cool niche, little, small producers in the United States. This month, I'm bringing you Meadow Creek Dairy Farms. Now, I talked about it a little bit last week, but I wanted to touch on it this week with wines that I'm pairing with the cheeses. So the Grayson washed rind is a cheese that is so super awesome. It's done in a French raclette style. So a washed rind, for those that know, we've packed down all those fats from the cheese. We've added a rennet to start curdling it. We've eliminated the whey, and we packed it down even more and let it dry and age. With a washed rind, as that cheese is aging, they wash the outside of it. So cheese naturally starts to create this rind with bacteria and local flora that occur in the aging process. And what they're doing is essentially giving a moisture content for that rind to get thicker, to develop more of an unctuous flavor, and it also breaks down more of the fat content of that cheese, creating interesting new umami notes, things that you don't typically get with an unaged cheese. So they take this raclette, wash the rind, gets a little funky, gets a little smelly. I gotta be honest, it's not the most pleasant smelling thing. But once you cut off that beautiful rind and get into the cheese itself, you're going to see some amazing flavor. I don't have one open for you. Trust me, you wouldn't. If this were smell-o-vision, you wouldn't want me to open it. It wouldn't be great. So this is the Grayson washed rind from Meadow Creek. I've also got a really cool cheese from them called the Mountaineer. Now this one is an Alpine style cheese. Alpine style cheese, more colloquially known as Swiss cheese, is typically made in the French and Swiss Alps. And in that region, the cheese is allowed to dry fairly aggressively, oftentimes around 60 days or so, gets this really cool rind to it, and then we'll develop these little pockets of air as the bacteria and molds that are naturally occurring in the cheese making process start to give off gases. So this is another great cheese that we're featuring this month. I've got Sauvignon Blanc from Orin Swift. This Sauv Blanc is really tasty. This is from the Russian River Valley in Sonoma. Going to have some bright, crisp apricot notes, a little bit of white peach, a little nectarine. Goes fantastically with the raclette style cheese, the Grayson. Then for that Alpine style, I'm showing off this Crow's Hermitage. Now, this is a wonderful Syrah, 100% Syrah from Maison Les Alexandrines. It's going to be showing you some really cool cranberry elements. Going to be a little bit of dark cherry in there, as well as a brambly woody element. Combine that with that nutty, light, milky cheese. You get some really fun juxtaposition of flavors there. You can get a kit of these if you join our wine club. That's going to be 2 bottles of wine plus 5 ounces of the cheese, all for $50 this month. Now, that's something we're only doing for wine club members, so you have to sign up with us. It's no obligation. You just put down your email address. I send you an email once a week and once a month to let you know what's going on, and then you get cool deals like this. So $50, you're going to save about $10 all said on this wine and cheese combo, and it's delicious. So how can you go wrong? We've got some awesome wine tastings for you every month. My first one this month, we had to unfortunately cancel. I did have some great people who were able to come in and get wine kits, though, versions of the wine tasting we were doing here on the patio, but took them home to go. I'll be doing a take-home tasting on the 21st. We're going to be doing a Zoom live event. So you'll take your kits home. We'll be putting it on Tuesday, the 21st. And then I'm going to have for that event, Crew 9 wines. I'll have their rosé. I'm going to have their Pinot Noir. And I'm going to have their Chardonnay for you to try, along with 4 delicious courses. In this case, we're going to have Faith with Crew 9 Wines. She is the proprietor of Crew 9, talking to us about her wines and why she chose to make the wines the way she did. So definitely come in, sign up for that. I'll need signups by Saturday the 18th. I'll be cutting off signups at 5 o'clock. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. We'll be seeing you in the market. Take care.